Welcome to the Buchanan Community School Board of Education meeting.
We're all hacking.
Too much coffee.
We're all hacking.
All right. All regular meetings have been posted on our website, in our central office, and in each district school building. Tonight's agenda has been posted on our website and emailed out to the BCS Board of Education community subscription. Our school board members received the agenda and all supporting documents for reports and action items several days prior to this meeting, so they can review information, prepare questions or comments, and are ready to participate fully in discussions. This meeting is a meeting of the Board of Education in public for the purpose of conducting the school district's business and is not considered a public community meeting. The Buchanan Community School Board of Education recognizes the value of public comment on educational issues and the importance of allowing members of public to express themselves on district matters as indicated during the public comment portion of the agenda. Please fill out a comment card if you wish to do so. All right. We will start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
Oh, no.
Imagine.
Oh, it's on our screen.
Oh, okay, that's great.
I know, just here.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Creatures of habit.
Yeah.
Okay. If we can start with roll call.
Mr. Carlson.
Here.
Miss Brackett.
Here.
Mr. Brown.
Here.
Miss Lesh here. Dr. Carlin.
Here.
Dr. Burnett.
Here.
And Miss Berry.
Here. And then we'll move to the adoption of the agenda.
I move the agenda for the regular board meeting of February 18th, 2025 be adopted as written.
Support.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Carlson.
Yes.
Miss Brackett.
Yes.
Mr. Brown.
Yes.
Miss Lesh, yes. Dr. Carlin.
Yes.
Dr. Burnett.
Yes.
And Miss Berry.
Yes. And then the, recognition of visitors. So thank you all for being here. We are going to move on to our points of pride to kick off the meeting. And I'm going to go a little bit out of order. And if we can start with the Buck Staff Appreciation.
Yep. All right, so I will list all of the nominees, and there was a lot this month. So Amanda Horton for the Buchanan High School Kitchen Manager, Amy Court, first grade teacher, Andrea Wilgus, Moccasin Behavioral Specialist, Angie Smith, Buchanan Middle School Cook, Aubrey Hall, Ottawa Paraprofessional, Beth Hannon, Moccasin Paraprofessional, Deanna Tinoco, Food Service Assistant, Heidi Holloway, fourth grade teacher, Jane Mitchell, bus driver, Joseph Kemp, District Computer Technician, Julie Lamar, Ottawa Interventionist, Kara Barrett, Moccasin Special Ed Teacher, Carrie Chase, GSRP Teacher, Mark Fry, Buchanan High School Assistant Principal and CTE Director, Mary Mitchell, Buchanan Middle School Kitchen Manager, Melissa Seddon, Kindergarten Teacher, Michelle Trail, Moccasin Custodian, Patricia Robinson, Superintendent, and Tammy Regglesworth, Payroll and Accounts. And this month's, or January, February winner is Tammy Regglesworth, so yay! So I will read what was submitted on your behalf. It's really long, so hang tight. I wanted to recognize Tammy Regglesworth for her incredible dedication and helpfulness during a time when I dropped the ball. While we were going through our open enrollment period for the new insurance, I ran into a snafu. I'd forgotten my Mesa password, and none of the information I entered matched the Mesa's information. Tammy tried many things on her end, including contacting Mesa. Am I saying that right? Mesa, sorry. And having my account reset. After many attempts to log in with the new login, my account ended up locked. I emailed Tammy on Friday night at 11 p.m., and she wrote me back apologizing on Sunday evening that she hadn't noticed it sooner. I hadn't expected a reply until Monday. She was off duty. I don't want it to become an expectation that we give up family time for work, but I was very impressed that she responded to me on the weekend. The following week, we continued to try to figure out what was going on with my account. After a few more trial and error attempts, Tammy told me that I would need to contact member services and provide me with a number. I meant to call, I truly did. Being the holiday season, as you can guess, this slipped my mind amongst the holiday parties and into the semester items, and finally getting to hold my brand new niece. I was at a family birthday party in Kalamazoo when I received Tammy's email stating that we had until midnight that evening to get our selections made. Panic set in, and within 5 minutes, Tammy had responded to my email, and within 2 hours, she had the entire process taken care of for me, well before midnight. She was able to log into Mesa on her end and make my selections for me. I was and am incredibly grateful that she took so much time out of her personal and professional life to tackle this issue for me. Without her doing this, I don't think I'd have insurance at this point. I called Mesa the following day and made sure that I was covered and my account is working. I'd like to apologize to Tammy once again for dropping the ball on this. Tammy is truly an asset to our school system. She's always kind and professional, and I'm very glad she has chosen to be a buck. I'll get with Miss Luke later. So, Tammy, there's another one, sorry. So somebody else submitted. Tammy has taken in a lot with her position as payroll and AP clerk and is doing a great job. She always goes above and beyond to answer any questions I have. I really appreciate her attention to detail and all that she does for the district. On behalf of the Board of Education and Administration of Buchanan Community Schools, we thank you for your service and encourage you to keep up the great level of achievement and service to our district. Thank you, Tammy. You can come on down. Photo op. Yeah. It's your turn now. You were maroon. Yeah, be careful of the cords.
Congratulations.
All right. Go ahead and go to the next one.
Wait, yeah, if he does show up.
Yeah. If we want to skip this one for the time being, do I need to change the agenda? No. Okay, we're going to come back to F1 in just a few minutes, if we could. So we're going to go ahead and go with the superintendent and department reports, G.
Yep, the reports are in your packet. Our principals, administrators, and department leads take time to give you all the updates, what's happened the previous month. So thank you to our leaders for doing that for you all.
Okay, thank you. All right, questions? All right. Mr. Fry, if you'd like to come up for your presentation.
All right. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
And happy CTE month.
Yay.
So that's why I always pick this month when she lets us do that in August. I picked this one because it is CTE month. For those of you that don't know, CTE is Career and Technical Education, which is an extreme passion of mine. And with that being the month, I also had culinary prepare you some cookies tonight. If you'd like to have one, they're up there at the top. I know a lot of people are still on their New Year's diets, but I snuck one, so it's all good. Part of CTE month is trying to get, the word out all over the state. And the one way we've done that this month is we've had the podcast with Trish, and that I thought went really well. If you haven't given a listen yet, it's in the Bucks Blast. And then we also have Charles making some promo videos. So he just put one together for our computer fundamentals class that should be getting released probably pretty soon. So That's a very exciting time for our county. If you don't understand how this works, is we can't possibly house all the CTE programs here. There's just not enough space or equipment or money. And so we're in an agreement with the county, that the PA 56 agreement with CTE, where we all share each other's classes. So this year we're up to 35 programs in the county that we can send our students to at, any sort of program they want to go to. We tend to stay south just because that's usually where the kids want to go. They want to go to like Niles or Berrien or Brandywine because that's where other kids they know go, and it's less travel. We do have, I think, 5 kids going north this year for aviation, electrical up there, and and then cosmetology. But typically they don't want to do that because they got to drive all the way up there, and that can be a little costly. And our building this year, we have 7 current programs. And then starting next year, we're going to, initiate 3 new programs that we've been awarded from the state. So next year, we plan on running cybersecurity off our Cisco program. Nice. So the Cisco program we're going to run in the morning, and then cybersecurity run in the afternoon. And the reason being is we're seeing, now that we've got our numbers back up from COVID, students want to not only take the Cisco program, but they want to take a second year. So this is going to give them the avenue that goes beyond to just like, hey, come in and try to learn, self-learn on another year. So that was a new program that we're going to start there. Today at 2 o'clock, Trish and I found out that we are getting the SIP code for education. So we will now be able to officially teach students how to become educators next year, which is a very big need in the county. Nice. They have it in the north end, but St. Joe has it, and a lot of people don't want to go up there because, again, the drive. So we have 5 students this year that are dabbling in like a trial program, and next year we hope to implement a whole education program where one day they will be in here learning, pedagogy and all those things from our excellent teachers like Mrs. Frost and Mr. Freilich. And then the next 4 days they're going to go out into the public, into local, schools and work. So if they're a Niles kid, they'll go to their local. If they're our kid, they'll go to our local. And then the final one is we had been awarded the electrical SIP last year. Didn't have any luck in finding anyone who could teach it. And this year, Mrs. Southwell's husband has reached out. He's retiring in June and is looking for a part-time gig and would love to teach electrical, which we have already been told by Niles that they would send 15 kids themselves just for residential electrical. So that doesn't include the need that we might have, as well as Brandywine and Berrien. Awesome. So those are exciting 3 new programs, and we're actually going to apply next year for the 26-27 year for horticulture and landscaping to use out at the school farm. So a lot going on in the CT world. It's been an exciting year, and we're excited for those new things next year. Currently in our programs, we are finishing up most of our credentials and things like that. One exciting tidbit is that our business class this year, one of our students in the Microsoft Word credential finished 6th in the state. And I think that was like 20th in the country as well. So she was first, and then everybody took their credential right at the end here, and she got passed up. But that was exciting to hold the #1 spot for about 2 months. And then we're also exploring direct college credit for sports med for next year. There is a little checkbox that we have to hit every year in our audit about earning a credential, and the state-approved credential they gave is not really an athletic training credential. And so instead of forcing our kids to take a test that they might not pass because it's not even the same material, we're just going to look at exploring direct credit with LMC because our teacher actually teaches there already, so it would make sense to just partner with them and give these kids credit, so that will count that box. And then finally in our world, which a lot of people don't realize, is School to Work, which is the old co-op program back in the day. You can't do some of the co-op things anymore. It's a little more regulated, and that's why they call it School to Work. But this year we have 10 students in that program, ranging from daycare to culinary to construction, and it's going really well. We've kind of pioneered a new online system of checking in and checking out, very much like a clock at the workforce, and the kids are doing really well with it, and we are seeing that the county is going to now all go that way since we were kind of the trendsetters with Lakeshore. So that's kind of the report. A lot I threw at you, but like I said, this is a passion of mine, and I could talk up here all day. So if you have any questions, I'd be glad to answer any of those.
Just a clarification question, because I'm curious. You mentioned the SIP codes. Is that the same as the collegiate SIP codes? It's part of what I do, so I'm just curious if, I know it's a federal database, so I'm just assuming it's all the same.
It's probably the same. I can't speak for sure on that because I don't know what that world is like, but I would assume that they're federally the same because we're getting a lot of the same grants for,
Sure.
Perkins and such.
Okay.
But yeah, it's exciting. We got like a new one today, and we got that email, and you don't get those nice emails from MDE all the time, so it's great to get one of those.
Absolutely.
Good job. A lot's going on.
That's great.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for your time. I'm not trying to run out of here, but I do want to go watch some of the basketball, so I apologize if I sneak
You're
out.
good.
You're good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Fry.
All right, we're gonna go ahead with the reports in new business, or information reports in new business, so Human Resources Committee.
I'll take that one. So on February 5th, Katie, Trish, Kelly, Carrie, and myself met and discussed new hires and some of the open positions, and then just talked a little bit about some of the changes from the RISA that we'll be seeing.
Thank you. And then we had Facilities and Finance Committee.
Yes, we met on the 12th for the district, Trish, Mark, Carrie, and Phil, Katie, Jake, and myself for the board. Real short but productive half hour. We also had Chris Sills on a call regarding the high school AC project that's in the packet to approve today, answering questions, and I don't think there were many, but in that, I noticed in the packet, I don't think it called out, but to be clear, that's art, band, media center, and CTE, the Cisco building out there, is what that air conditioning project would cover. And then the only other thing we talked about is middle school gym, replacing the lights over there. They're half out, 40% out right now, and taking them to LED, they'll match what's in the high school gym now, which will brighten things up, but that'll happen over spring or summer break.
Thank you. Parent Advisory Committee.
Thank you, and our committee met on the 12th as well. We had 8 parents attending that meeting. We discussed various topics that night, including the reinstatement committee. We'll have a parent on that committee. I gave them an overview of how the county is working towards addressing some of the behaviors that we're seeing across the county. We also talked about the draft calendar for next year. They were able to take a sneak peek and give me input about the calendar. In leadership, we have been talking about just like a transportation timing discussion. I was able to kind of glean some of their input regarding that topic. And then also from last year, we were talking about student advisory committee, so I gave them an update of how that looks, and I know Brian, Pruitt, and myself are working on getting that done. We haven't been actively doing things like once we met, we let it go, so we'll pick that back up again. I made sure to let them know that they're gonna be invited to the facilities audit once we have the date now. So I'll personally invite them to make sure that they'll come. And regarding just open floor discussions, we talked about the school cancellations. Many of them that day, I think we let school out early. So they talked about how grateful they were for that. Pretty much, that was pretty much it. So that was our meeting.
Good. Thank you, Trish. All right, we're gonna go back to our points of pride. And we have a special one tonight, so I'm gonna take a few minutes and I'm gonna read something, so just bear with me. Let it be known that it is with great admiration and gratitude that we celebrate the extraordinary service of Mrs. Ruth Ryder, whose decades of dedication to education and community have left an indelible mark on countless lives. Ruth joined Buchanan Community Schools Board in 2012 and has since been instrumental in shaping the educational experience of thousands of students and families. Her wisdom, passion, and steadfast leadership have guided decisions that continue to inspire and uplift our community. Ruth's educational journey started off like any other, attending Climax Scots in her early years. She pursued higher education to its fullest, attending 6 different post-secondary education institutions, earning her Bachelor of Science in 1968 and Master of Arts in 1972 at Western. She continued her studies at St. Lawrence University, the University of Vermont, the University of Maine, Indiana University, and Western Washington University, exemplifying her relentless pursuit of knowledge. Ruth's journey in education came full circle as she transitioned from aspiring student to influential educator, committed to shaping the minds of futures of countless learners. Ruth taught at 7 schools and institutions, returning to Climax Scots, Western Michigan, including many other accredited universities and adult educational schools. Ruth has directly impacted the lives of over 5,000 students, teaching 26 courses ranging from U.S. history to Canadian studies throughout her tenure. While Ruth has shown a motivational level of achievement on both sides of the classroom, she has extended her merits far beyond teaching. Ruth leaned into challenging leadership roles in various programs such as Curriculum Director for Social Studies, Department Chair, Senior Class Advisor, National Honor Society Advisor, Model UN Coordinator, Canadian Exchange Program Leader, Close-Up Program Leader, and Concessions Coordinator, all of which provided for hundreds of students to pursue an extensive education as she once did. Additionally, her published works of initiatives further demonstrate her commitment to advancing education. Since 2012, Ruth has served the Buchanan Community School Board, taking on the responsibilities of many roles as a trustee, vice president, and secretary to ensure that Buchanan Schools strives for excellence. In special tribute, therefore, this document is signed and dedicated to commend Mrs. Ruth Ryder of Buchanan upon her remarkable achievements and unwavering dedication to education. With our deepest gratitude and admiration, we thank her for her inspiring leadership and enduring legacy, which will come to influence generations to come. And this is signed by State Representative Brad Paquette, Lieutenant Governor Garland, I'm gonna say her name wrong.
You say it. I was like, she could say it, yeah.
Jonathan Lindsley, the state senator, and the governor, Gretchen Whitmer. So have a nice plaque for you.
You did well, yeah.
You did.
Yeah. A solo.
She wanted a solo.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Thank
your
you.
card, too. Yeah, thank you.
It was an honor, a pleasure. Good to pass the torch.
We're just gonna keep getting you honors and accolades.
Yeah.
I said, we're just gonna keep doing that, and then you can come to all the meetings, so. We have a couple more.
We did this back in December.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, we're not done.
Yeah.
This will go on my wall. You know, when people retire from education, they tend to dabble in substitute education. This seat is always open for you. I'm happy to switch spots whenever you can, just saying, just let me know.
The hardest job I ever had was being a substitute teacher in this building. There were days where I said, I went to the principal's office and I said, I'm never walking in another classroom again. And then I did for another. Thank you.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Thank you.
jump back down to public comment, and I don't think we have any public comment. We haven't seen any cards. I don't see anyone. Okay, great. We will move on to the adoption of the consent agenda.
I move that the Board of Education approves the consent agenda for the regular meeting of February 18th, 2025. Be adopted as written. There were minutes for the organizational meeting on January 21st, 2025. Warrants involving treasury and expenditure reports in the dashboard for January 2025. And recommendations for hire Jared Huddenstein for custodian substitute and Megan Kern for administrative assistant at the high school.
Support.
Roll call, please. Oh, any questions or comments? Sorry.
You're fine.
All right, roll call now.
Mr. Carlson?
Yes.
Ms. Brackett?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Ms. Lesh, yes. Dr. Carlin?
Yes.
Dr. Burnett?
Yes.
And Ms. Berry?
Yes. All right, next we have our BVA graduation certification.
I make a motion that upon satisfactory completion of district requirements for high school graduation, the Board of Education hereby approves Buchanan Virtual Academy students Demario Ward, Jennifer Cartwright, Gaitha Aljabori, and Marnell Whiteley.
Support. Any questions or comments? Okay. Roll call, please.
Congratulations.
Yes,
Yeah,
congratulations.
congratulations. Mr. Carlson?
Yes.
Ms. Brackett?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Ms. Lesh, yes. Dr. Carlin?
Yes.
Dr. Burnett?
Yes.
And Ms. Berry?
Yes. All right, next we have the School Farm Advisory Board member appointment.
I make a motion the Buchanan Board of Education approves the recommendation as submitted by our outdoor education advisor, Melissa Frost, to appoint Ryan Maston as a member of the School Farm Advisory Board.
Support.
All right, any questions?
So we've been trying, as the board, our farm board liaison, we've been trying to get some new members and some younger members. So Ryan, I sent out some applications to just different people that we thought, and he responded. So we're super excited to have him, and if anybody knows or wants to have, I think we have like 2 more spots for the council, so we have some ideas. We're still sending out applications, but if anybody has any suggestions, we're open for that, so. We totaled up our age for the people that are still on the council, and then right before maple syrup, 3 of them got injured and had a surgery, and we were like, we need some younger members, so, and Mr. Nixon would agree on that, so. So anyways, thank you for.
And I guess we need to do a roll call.
Yep.
Yes.
Mr. Carlson.
Yes.
Ms. Brackett.
Yes.
Mr. Brown.
Yes.
Ms. Lesh, yes. Dr. Carlin.
Yes.
Dr. Burnett.
Yes.
And Ms. Berry.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, next up is updating the authorized banking users.
Move that the board, Buchanan Community School Boards of Education approves the following individuals to be authorized users on Buchanan Community Schools financial accounts. For the United Federal Credit Union, authorized users Carrie Brunstein, John Ramsey, Tammy Wigglesworth, and Katie Berry. And the removal of the following users: Brian Brown, Courtney Sabak, Christopher Lee, Harvey Burnett, William Beckman, and Tracy Tompkins. And Honor Credit Union authorized users Carrie Brunstein, John Ramsey, Rebecca Caitlin Bach, Tammy Wigglesworth, and Katie Berry. And the removal of the following users: Laura Morris, Brian Brown, and Courtney Sabak.
Support.
Any questions or comments?
Oh, there it is.
just updates for who can use and who cannot use. right?
Yes,
So,
yeah, and some of them are pretty old, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was time. Thank you, Carrie.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Carlson?
Yes.
Ms. Brackett?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Ms. Lesh, yes. Dr. Carlin?
Yes.
Dr. Burnett?
yes.
And Ms. Berry.
Yes. All right, next up, we have the Disney music proposal for an overnight student trip.
I make the motion that the Buchanan Board of Education approves the BHS Music Department's Universal Studios and Disney trip to Florida from March 30th to April 4th of 2025 in accordance with the board policy 5502 under the supervision of Matt Orsillo and Katie Persack.
And just real quick, it's not policy number 5506, just so you know. You said 2, just so you're,
I apologize.
it's okay. We
my
just
first time, guys.
documenting, I know, you did really well. I didn't want to have to tell you, so.
I was a little nervous.
It's okay, you did great.
Support?
Was that you, Harvey? Yeah. Thank you.
All right, any,
Mr. Carr, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Just so you know,
question.
this is an updated one, but because the old one was approved, we just want to make sure it was.
Was that the early one that it said it was first put in? Like when we
Yes,
heard about it? Yeah, I
yes,
read that, and I
yes.
was like, oh, yeah, I forgot it was so long ago.
It
but
was long ago.
Yeah, and it was all updated, I
Yes.
see. Okay, that makes sense.
It's a great opportunity, and I'm glad that they're finally making that happen as a, the band boosters has a lot to do with it and has been through a few directors, so.
That's the third iteration, I think, of this trip. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of excited kids to go, and the boosters were really good about communicating with the parents. There were some options from a financial perspective, so they did have a specific meeting to talk about ways that maybe we could change the cost structure and change the trip, and so they were very communicative with the parents on all of that. So yeah, I'm excited that they're able to go as well.
They said there's like 40 to 33 kids that could possibly go? That's what it was in the sheet.
There's 40 participating, I think there's 33 kids and like 7 adults or
That's
something
amazing.
like that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
huge,
it is.
which is awesome. With the fundraising and stuff, I mean, all that worked out. That's really, really cool.
all right, roll call.
Mr. Carlson?
Yes.
Ms. Brackett?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Ms. Lesh, yes. Dr. Carlin?
Yes.
Dr. Burnett?
Yes.
And Ms. Berry? And Ms. Berry?
Yes, sorry. I
You're
was reading
fine,
the
I
notes.
know. Everybody's trying to do their jobs here.
All right. Next one is updating authorized signers.
I make a motion, the Buchanan Community Schools Board of Education approves the authorized signatures for our purchase orders and checks, Katie Berry and Chris Carlson.
Support.
And just to update as transitions take place on
Yes.
the board and stuff
Yep,
like that.
and these
so.
will be the 2 names that you'll see on checks and our purchase orders.
Yep.
Okay, roll call. Sorry,
You're fine.
someday I'll get that
No,
stuff
you're
right in
fine.
order.
You're fine. You're giving people time to ask questions. Mr. Carlson?
Yes.
Ms. Brackett?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Ms. Lesh, yes. Dr. Carlin?
Yes.
Dr. Burnett?
Yes.
And Ms. Berry?
Yes. All right, moving right along. We have the RFP for the BHS AC project.
I move the Buchanan Board of Education approve the recommendation to accept the bid from Andy Egan Company, Inc. in the amount of $474,522 for the Buchanan High School air conditioning project.
Support?
Any questions or comments from the board?
I think there's going to be a lot of really happy people that this happens, so excited that it's moving forward.
And it should be this summer, so
This summer.
Yeah, if all goes well, it should be operational in those areas in the fall.
Those are the same areas you listed earlier, Chris?
Yes, CTE, band, art, Media Center, yeah.
Nice.
I know the kids that come in for band camp in the summer have experienced that really hot band room in August, so that'll be one of the first groups probably to recognize it.
Nice.
And this is different from the other project from December, so it should cover now the whole building. Except for the room we're sitting in. And one piece of the art room, yeah.
It's too bad Ruth left early. She would have loved to finally hear that after trying to get that done for 50
Yeah.
years.
I know. She heard the air conditioning project, the window air conditioners. She heard about that one going in.
When I come in here and it's cool.
Good. All right, roll call.
Mr. Carlson?
Yes.
Ms. Brackett?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Ms. Lesh, yes. Dr. Carlin?
Yes.
Dr. Burnett?
Yes.
And Ms. Berry?
Yes. The MASB Board of Directors vote.
I, Chris Carlson, nominate Elizabeth Odell to serve as a representative for MASB Region 6 Board of Directors.
Support.
I think that both those candidates are very qualified. They've been on boards for a number of years. They both have individual passions, you know. Miss Odell has been around a little bit longer and been involved in a few more things. But I think either one would do a fine job.
Any other comments or questions? All right, roll call.
Mr. Carlson?
Yes.
Ms. Brackett?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Ms. Lesh, yes. Dr. Carlin?
Yes.
Dr. Burnett?
Yes.
And Ms. Berry?
Yes. Okay, that's all. So any questions or comments from the board on anything?
I just wanted to share that with all the weather and the changes, and one, I appreciate the school putting out information early or ahead of time as much as possible. I know it's hard making the decisions, but I also want to say to our staff, thanks for being flexible. You know, with a day off, it might be, yay, we have the day off and our kids love it, but to readjust and get stuff in. For instance, we had a snow day and it was Valentine's party and they had to redo it today. And so just the flexibility, I just want to say I appreciate all staff for making those changes. I know it's not easy. Obviously, I'd take a day off over school, but we just appreciate making the changes and being flexible, so.
Well, on that same note, just want to commend Trish. It's not an easy decision. Obviously, you don't just make the decision on your own by going outside and checking the weather. But it ultimately comes down to you in making that decision. And, you know, sometimes it's one of those things where you're going to make half the people happy and half the people not. And to choose student safety and, you know, other stakeholders as well, but students primarily over whether or not, do we get out, do I let them out early, do I cancel school, do I not? We've all seen locally when a school chose the other way, to go ahead and have school when everybody else was closing, and some not so great things happened recently, and, you know, just all of the storm, pardon the pun, that's come from that, but most importantly, you know, the student injuries and that sort of thing. So, Trish, you know, you keep going with your gut and with the decisions that you have to make, and, you know, we'll support you. But if you're erring on the side of caution, at least from a parental standpoint, I think you're making the right decision.
Thank you.
The other comment I had was Ruth already left, but,
Yeah.
you know, we appreciate her. You know, in a night that we're recognizing her, it shouldn't be surprised that, you know, she
recognized
is thanking us. So, I didn't do much for you, Ruth, sorry. I was just a pain in your butt in your classroom back in the 90s, but I appreciate the card nonetheless.
In our high school update, Audrey Leach was in there, and I just wanted to bring that to everyone's attention. Audrey Leach, senior here at BHS, was selected as one of the 80 students to the All-State Honors Choir in the state of Michigan. So
Thank you for
congratulations to
mentioning
her. And
Yeah.
I know she She's been really involved in our choral music program, was probably happy it came back, but done a fantastic job.
No comment.
Just two quick things. One, I'm going to echo the comments already on the weather changes that happen. I know that there was some online chatter, and I had people reach out personally thanking us for the early communication and the decision, and the acknowledgement that it's not an easy call to make regardless. So thank you, Trish, for leading that. And then also, somewhat personal, so don't mind the nepotism with this, but thank you to the Cole and Brittany Martin from the school helping with the maple syrup project. I know that Brittany was huge in organizing the efforts of getting a neighborhood to
She got her
participate.
whole neighborhood, yeah. So I'll keep going with that, the Martins, and then they joined the other Martins for the Tree Friends, and they all jumped in and helped. But she got her whole neighborhood involved, which was very helpful. But it's a great location. It's not in a very risky spot. So we had to think of all the logistics, all the way from bus parking, where the kids are at, high traffic. And the whole neighborhood was really good. But I saw pictures the first day, because Wiley's class was the first day, and they had like a cute little fire built with tree stumps so they could warm up. They had hot chocolate, all Brittany Martin did. I mean, it was just amazing. So, and then I liked there was a little dog running around. It was just so yeah, we're in the woods when we do it, but it just was so cool. And all the, it's a huge thing that we do in Buchanan. It's got 50-plus years, and so when where we were at, they started wanting to do something different with the area, so we had to jump right in, and then Brittany heard about it, and she jumped right in and got us it's the Tulip Tree neighborhood, and got everything planned, worked with Moccasin and Jared, and so we just want to say thanks to all of them, so yes, thank you.
Yeah, and I learned about it by reading about the article, so it wasn't anything that I knew about it.
Yeah, I was going to say,
kinda
it's
nice to see their
really neat posts and stuff
Yeah.
too, so.
Yep. So, thank you.
And next week, it's supposed to be really good for maple tapping, so let's hope. Let's hope we have a good season.
Yep. That is one of my favorite field trips to participate in. All right, our next board meeting is actually a working session tomorrow on February 19th at 6:30, and then our next regular meeting will be there on March 17th. Full awareness, I will not be able to attend tomorrow. I'll be on vacation, so. But looking forward to hearing how it goes, and enjoy the time. And I think that's it. Have a great night.
Thank you. That was early.